focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the years. When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Welcome to the SC Raiders Talk and RaiderTwuan. No matter where you're at, we're simulcasting on two different channels. You already know it's time for the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. I'm one of your hosts, SC Raiders Talk. My boy RaiderTwuan should be joining me in a bit. He's a little late. He's got some things to handle behind the scenes, but he will show up sometime today. But for now, you got me. But shout out to everybody, man. Blessings to you guys and your family, man. The Raiders news just keeps going up and up and up. Interviews back to back to back to back and all of that, man. We got all those different types of interviews, and we go talk about and break down every single one. What could be the best case scenario, worst case scenario, and all these things above. And did somebody already become the Raiders head coach without even getting announced yet? We'll talk about it in a little, man. Let me give a shout out to who's here. Raider Way, salute. He says, salute SC. He says, AP, what's Mark waiting for? Champ 2. Let's go, Mark. And we'll talk about it, man. Shout out to Raider Way in the building, man. Shout out to Jaw Raider. Says, AP head coach. PG as DC. Chris Richards as secondary coach. OC Frank Smith or Arthur Smith. Okay, shout out. We'll talk about it. Jaw Raider was good. Good to see you. Trey all day in the building. Salute. Shout out to SoCal Sal. What's good? Salute. What up, Lake Show Raider? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Salute. SoCal Sal in the building. What's good, man? Shout out to Lewis. I'm doing all right, man. Hey, we talking some Raiders football. You feel me? We feeling good. I want the Raiders to hire AP and Champ Kelly. Okay. Dope ass intro. I appreciate it, Lake Show, man. Shout out to you, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to Anthony Estrada in the building. What's good, Anthony Estrada? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to Auntie Six Soldier. Salute. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. SoCal South. Salute. Hope all is well. Hey, we're simulcasting on two channels, the SC Raiders Talk and also RaiderTwuan, man. But for now, it's just me. Like I said, RaiderTwuan will be a little bit late. He's got some things to handle behind the scenes. So you got me for now. You feel me? We're going to talk about all the different rumors, interviews, everything that's happening on the Raiders world. But let's get straight into it, man. Are people already talking about it? It's been the talk of the town for the past, I would say, how do I say this? We got some interesting things, man. And shout out to Sean Johnson. He says GM Champ Kelly, Antonio Pierce, Cliff Kingsbury, sorry, and Patrick Graham. I feel that we're gonna talk about it, man. Shout out to Wild Turkey in the building as well, man. T with Big Shirley. Hey, I don't know, maybe, but you're gonna be a little late, like I said, man. Shout out to the 30 people that are already here, man. If you guys can hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, man. Both links are in the description as well. I'm on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so if you like the content, hey, let me know, man. I'm less than 15 away. I think I'm less than 15 away. Oh, wait, actually, yeah, I think I'm less than 15 away from 2,000 subscribers. So the goal is to hit it before the end of the season, which is the Super Bowl, and we got a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks until that happens. So we grinding, man. Shout out to Raider Resistance, man. But let's get straight into it. Like I said, man, let's get straight into it. Obviously, let's talk about the general manager. Champ Kelly is a part of the head coach interview process. What does it mean? There's a lot of rumors circulating that Champ Kelly has been in the room around this head coaching things. Of course, they have interviewed other people, right? The Broncos director, I forgot her name, but then also Ed Dobbs, as well. They They have interviewed. Then they had Champ Kelly, and they brought in Champ Kelly for the second time. Now, a lot of circulation going around about him being a part of the head coaching process. So does that mean they're waiting for Antonio Pierce to officially sign the contract for both of them to be it? That's a question for you guys. What are you guys thinking? For me personally, it looks like it, right? Kelly Callaghan, there you go. Thank you, Prez. Kelly Callaghan was the other interviewee, and of course, now the circulation around Champ Kelly. Is Champ Kelly the next general manager? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Y'all think Champ Kelly is, I mean, the head coach is the next general manager, or you're just letting him be a part of the process, and he's gonna be some way, somehow, a part of all of this? You guys, let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, for me, I'm gonna give you guys at the end. Shout out to Fox Pack in the building. Says what up, little bro? Been a minute. It has been a minute. Shout out to Fox in the building. Freddie Chavez, good to see you. Queen Raider Red in the building. Salute. Good to see everybody in here, man. Blessed to see you guys and your families. Hope all is well. But what you guys thinking, man? Y'all think Champ Kelly is your general manager for today? I mean, for the Raiders in this upcoming season. What you guys thinking? Press says yes. Queen says yes. So far, a lot of yeses so far. You feel me? Ever since Tuesday, we honored the Rooney Rule, and ever since then, quiet like crickets. So Sean Johnson, you thinking Champ Kelly? You thinking Champ Kelly got the job? For me, obviously, Champ Kelly, I think is the guy. You know, and I don't have anything bad to say about Champ Kelly. Has a good record. Was part of the scouting for the Chicago Bears. One of their notable names was Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith was one of those guys that was really goddamn good, all pro, Pro Bowler, linebacker. So there's a lot of things to talk about in that sense as well. That's just one of the bigger names that Champ Kelly went out to get. He hasn't done any wrong in my opinion. He was one of those guys that was also advocating for CJ Stroud. Now we're seeing what CJ Stroud is capable of. Y'all seeing CJ Stroud right now? That guy is balling. That guy is about to be a franchise. I mean, it's been one season, obviously, but he's going into the path of a franchise quarterback for the Texans. He's looking really good over there. Beat the shit out of the Browns. Oh my god, he beat the shit out of him. Shout out to Cool Kev in the building, man. Good to see you, Champ Kelly and AP. But you know how this is. No, I feel it, man. So for me, make the right move, man. It looks like Champ Kelly has been a part of the head coaching interview process. It's look every sign is leading to Champ Kelly being the general manager. So for me, I am mad. But hey, if you tell me, like kind of like Sean Johnson said there in the chat, if some way you could pull off a move where Ed Dobbs is still a part of this organization, you have two good minds put together. That's better than one. Hey, two for one, you feel me, is better than just one. So obviously, if you could have Ed Dobbs some way somehow involved in this thing while having Champ Kelly there, I think you could have a really good scouting department in general for the upcoming draft, and I will have 110% confidence in this year's draft. Leading up to it, right? And hey, shout out to Caleb Williams. I know Caleb Williams officially declared, which was surprising to me. Was very surprising to me. I thought he would have been with USC another year, man. Sucks for USC, sucks for us. I'm a college football fan, but I'm a USC fan if y'all didn't know. And it sucks because we're going into the SEC, and on top of that, we're losing our quarterback. We're losing multiple receivers. We're losing Brandon Rice. We just lost Mario Williams. We're losing a lot of guys over there, so it sucks over there. But hey, it turns the draft upside down, right? Well, Michael Penix not having a good performance, but still having the heart in the national championship, and JJ McCarthy winning that national championship. Circulation around Jim Harbaugh, the circulation around if Caleb was gonna go into there, he did. And at the end of the day, that turns the whole draft around. So it's going to be an interesting draft process and an interesting draft. And hey, the quarterback position is really deep this year, man. Really deep. And I think it's the deepest it's been in a while. A lot of good quarterbacks with a lot of good potentials. And if they fall into the right system, they will be right. Which, talking about Champ Kelly, obviously a good, you feel me, a good thing there. But that kind of leads me to the next question, right? And the question is, Chris Richards gets the interview. Does that mean Antonio Pierce has the job already? And you may say, hey, they're interviewing somebody else. Why would they have Antonio Pierce locked in already? Well, this is why. Because they're doing all these interviews, but the one person they brought back was Antonio Pierce for the second time. Nobody else has had a second interview set for Champ Kelly and Antonio Pierce. Now, the question is, are you guys cool with Antonio Pierce being the head coach? For me, I've been the advocate for him. Everybody knows that he's been the number one on my list constantly. And I know a lot of people had it's kind of funny to me because a lot of people had Jim Harbaugh as number one and rooting for Jim Harbaugh, and then they failed, and then it looks like they're going to Antonio Pierce, and now everybody kind of switched their whole demeanor. Like, oh, yeah, I thought AP was gonna be it all along. No, he didn't, bro. Let's be honest. A lot of people flip flop on it, and it's kind of funny, right? Shout out to Black Angry Grayed Out, man. Good to and grayed out. My bad. Shout out to you, man. What's good? Good to see you. Ern says West Side Media says AP is the guy, man. I feel that too. I feel that too. At least we're not like Bama right now. Players uncommitting and going to the transfer portal. I know Bama down bad right now. AP is my coach. I feel that, man. Hit them likes and sub up to the channel, man. Hey, that's a fact, man. Right now, we're gonna get Twuan soon. Twuan is handling some things behind the scenes, so he's gonna be a little late for everybody joining me. Right now, you got me, SC Raiders Talk. So if you're coming from Twuan's channel, hey, check me out, man. I'm less than 20. I'm less than 15 away from 2,000 subscribers, and my goal this whole season has by the end of the season, which is after the Super Bowl, I'm close to 2,000 subscribers, man. So if you guys like the content, like what I'm talking about, all things real, you feel me? Hey, subscribe, man. Subscribe. We're close to 2,000 subscribers, so I greatly appreciate it. This off season, man, is going to be a fun one. I'm going to do a lot of good YouTube shorts for you guys. Draft profiles in those YouTube shorts, 60 seconds of talking about a certain player in the upcoming draft, showing all 22 film. I have the college all 22 films, so it's going to be great to show you guys in those little shorts how good these quarterbacks could truly be and their pros and cons. So it's going to be interesting. Shout out to Gertie Raider. What's good? Gertie Raider, good to see you. Hope all is well, man. Shout out to El Capitan Rafael Rafucho in the building. What's good? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody, man. So, you feel me? It's gonna be an interesting thing for me. Antonio Pierce has been somebody, and everybody always told me, "Why do you like Antonio Pierce so much? He hasn't proven himself as a head coach. His time management is horrible. Blah blah blah. He's still a rookie, doesn't know what he's doing." Well, look, this is what I always said about Antonio Pierce, and why I kind of backed up Rich Bisaccia. You could say what you said about Rich Bisaccia's team, right? You could say it was Gruden's team. You could say that it was a fluke that things just went in our way, which obviously it did go our way. The teams that lost, and the teams we played, we won. Obviously, things went towards us. But the one thing that team had was heart. Heart goes a long way. Y'all would not believe how much the heart goes a long way, right? So for me, Antonio Pierce had people playing for him. And now a perfect example of the turn of switch. Marcus Peters, the first thing Antonio Pierce kicked him out. Gone. Hey, you're not showing effort, you're gone. You're done. Right? You're gone. Then he brings in Jack Jones. Now, Jack Jones was an interesting and a very, how do I say it? A very good example of what Antonio Pierce is capable of. And why you may say that. Obviously, Jack Jones did not want to play for Bill Belichick. And you may say, that's crazy. Why wouldn't he want to play for one of the best coaches of all time? Well, he didn't like how it was going over there, right? Obviously, he got injured a couple times, and then things were happening between him and the locker room, and his efforts started going down and down. Then he got benched, and then he got dropped, then picked up again. He was getting frustrated, so he did not want to play for the New England Patriots. Now, when we brought him on, and when the Raiders brought Jack Jones, some people were saying this guy shows no effort. This guy sucks. What is he gonna do? Well, you seen what he did. Besides, and by the way, I still don't think that's a flag, right? That one game between the Colts, that was not a flag in my opinion, where he was offsides. No, he wasn't offside. He jumped that pretty good. In my opinion, he jumped that really good. So for me personally, he played with heart. He showed that he wanted to play for Antonio Pierce. And now, yes, Antonio Pierce used to coach this guy. He did at Arizona State. But at the same time, for him to go at this level and turn a switch and just show effort, that shows you how much of an impact Antonio Pierce has on these players. Max Crosby advocates for him, Isaiah Palomau, and now everybody wants to get rid of Max Crosby. Why? Why are we calling everybody? This is my take, obviously, right? Everybody got their opinions. I'm not bashing anybody for anybody's opinion, but in my opinion, and my standpoint and point of view, why are you getting mad at a player speaking out? At the end of the day, Max Crosby has said on multiple occasions that he wants to be a Raider. He wants to be a Raider. He's got the Raider emblem. I mean, the Raider shield. Let me be specific. The Raider shield tatted on him. and he said it continuously that he wants to be a Raider. And the moment he speaks on it, the moment he gives his thing, everybody turns their face on him, turns the blind eye and says, "Fuck this guy, get him out of here, get Max Crosby out of here. He's a diva." Stuff like this. Come on, man. He's not a diva. He's just speaking out. When are we gonna hold Mark Davis accountable for all of this shit, man? We do not. We do not. At the end of the day, we do not hold this organization accountable. People talk more about the coaches and the coordinators and the players more than the actual organization that has been bringing in all these coaches that have been fucking us. Yes, and I'm saying literally fucking us. Josh McDaniels fucked us. Pause on that, right? Pause. PAUSE. Pause on that. But he literally fucked us. If I'm being honest, he literally screwed us over, and this is what Mark Davis wanted. Right? Like, here you go, right? Here you go, right here for you guys, right here. This is the notable picture I've been showing since the start of the season. Coach screws team while owner watches. That's what happened the whole beginning of the season. When are we gonna hold this guy accountable? Everybody's saying, "Oh, Max Crosby is a diva. Devontae Adams is a diva." But when are we gonna hold this guy right here to your left, accountable for things like this, man? And you wonder why I finally gave him credit for finally doing what his dad did. And now you may say, and let me give a shout out to everybody here. Mile High Raider in the building. Salute. Gertie, salute. Hey, Gertie, he came out on his podcast. I don't know if you see Max Crosby's podcast, but he said he wants to be a Raider, bro. He came out and said that he specified, he said he wants to be a Raider at the end of the day, that he didn't mean no harm. Shout out to D Menace in the building. Good to see everybody in here, man. We got a total of 60, 70 people in total. We're simulcasting on 2 channels right now. My co-host is not here right now. He's handling some things behind the scenes. For everybody in here, man, if you're on my channel, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and we keep it real over here. I say when I'm wrong as well, man, and I try to keep it real. So if you guys can, I'm less than 20 away from 2,000 subscribers. So if you guys can, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, man. I'll greatly appreciate it. Pierce brings back the gritness that made the Raiders one of the most feared teams in the NFL. Players run through brick walls for this guy. We cannot let this guy walk out the door. That's a fact. Shout out to Vic Sacramento, man. Raiders! You already know what it is, man. I think what people didn't understand was that he clearly said he was going to stay and make it work or without AP. He doesn't work out, then he leaves. People don't hear the things right. That's what I'm saying. He came out on his own podcast as well. We finally have some stability. Don't fuck it up, Mark. There we go, man. That's what it's all about, man. The KC win was huge. It really was. And, you know, for me, I've always been the guy to say that Jim Harbaugh was going to come in and fuck everything over. And what I mean by fuck everything over, wanted his way, right? He wanted his way, right? At the end of the day, he was going to bring his players, do what he wants. And that's not a guy that I want again, right? That's not. And he wants money. If you think for a second he do not want it, y'all forget that he used us as leverage like a year ago, 2 years ago. Y'all know he used us as leverage, right? He used us as leverage. He's using us as leverage again. Again. And people don't see that. Obviously, he's proven he is. He just won the national championship. He did what he did. And at the end of the day, he's a true head coach. But we're just not a team that is ready for a head coach like this. We need a coach that's already here, that is building on top of what we got, not doing the same thing Josh McDaniels do and kind of bring it back. That's more of, hey, I hate to say it, that's more of a Chargers team. That's more of a Chicago Bears team. That's more of those guys' teams that are burly on the brinks of like right here. Like right here. At the end of the day, we got talented players, y'all. Let's not forget that we're top 10 in defense, y'all. And we could easily be top 10 on offense if we have the right coordinator for the job and a good quarterback that is ready now. And that's what I mean. Because at the end of the day, Aiden O'Connell is a good quarterback. He will eventually be a good quarterback in the NFL and starting quarterback if he sits behind whoever he wants. But right now, he's not ready. And we're not ready for a quarterback that's not ready right now. We need a quarterback that is ready. So for me, obviously, I need that, right? Shout out to Scott Tucker. He says, hey, bro, Mark can't hire any coach till after divisional round as per NFL rules. I haven't fully looked at the rules or anything, but I think most likely, Scott Tucker, it will most likely be Antonio Pierce. All the signs are leading up to Antonio Pierce and Champ Kelly to me. AP, nothing else is acceptable. That's what I'm saying, right? We're just and this is what I'm saying, right? I have nothing against Jim Harbaugh. At the end of the day, I was advocating for Jim Harbaugh when Josh McDaniels was another candidate, right? For me personally, when it came down to it, Antonio Pierce is a better fit for the Raiders because of where the Raiders are now. And that's my saying, right? Going forward. That's my saying right there. Right. So for me, obviously, just like in the NFL draft, right? In the NFL draft, certain players work better in certain systems than other systems. That's the main thing, right? It's the same thing with coaches. In certain teams, coaches are perfect in those situations. Some teams are rebuilding, some teams are playoff teams, some teams are barely at the brinks and the border of being a playoff team. And that's where we're at. I truly believe that we're on the border of being a playoff team because of the talent we have on this team. At the end of the day, with the right quarterback, good offensive coordinator, that's what it is, right? And shout out to Raider Ben. What's good, Raider Ben? Good to see you. Hope all is well, man. Good to see you. Salute, salute. Joseph Para in the building, the best coach, man. And that's what I'm saying. Um, at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? So for me personally, I personally think that Antonio Pierce is the best coach and the best candidate for where the Raiders are now. Now that kind of turns me to the next one, and I got my co-host behind the scenes, but I'm waiting for him to get situated there, man. Shout out to I Panda TY. Are you good? Are you good backstage there? Are you good? He's good, man. Let me bring out my co-host of the Two for One Nation podcast, man. You already know what it is, man. My boy here, man. A guy, an upcoming YouTuber as well, content creator for the Raiders, man. Burley started. This is his rookie season, man. So give him a lot of love over there, man. The links are in the description as well. And we're simulcasting on his channel too, man. Shout out to everybody, man. But let me bring out the owner of Brown Crackers, he liked to call it the Brown Crackers. He also, a, you feel me? Is part of the head of the congregation. His chat over there, my boy here, man, Raider Twuan in the building. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, what's good? I ain't got no brown crackers, man. I'm in a whole different state. You know what I'm saying? For those that are questioning why I'm late, please forgive me. I am late. I'm in Arizona taking care of some stuff. If you want to know the information, hit me up on IG and we can talk about it. But I am here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I always say it early in the video, but I'm gonna say it now. We got two brothers for one nation, and you guys know it's Raider Nation. So blessings to everybody out there.
That's a fact, man. We got 70 people already in here, man. If you guys can hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, man. And we'll greatly appreciate it. We're gonna ask Twan the same questions that we've been already answering. Shout out to Raider Paul in the building joining us. Shout out to everybody, man. Thrash, Panda TY. I'm pretty sure I saluted you, but I'm gonna salute you again. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Gore Peterson, Joseph. I see a lot of new names here. If you're new here, subscribe. Like I said, less than 20 away, and that's the best support for me. And you even watching is the best support. So I appreciate you guys for that. Real talk. So let me ask you the question, Swan. Let me go back of what we have so far, man. So Champ Kelly, there's been rumors that he's been a part of the head coaching interview process. Does that mean he's the general manager? What you thinking about Champ Kelly, man?
Hey, I mean, if he's in there stirring the drink and actually having to say, I think there might actually be some stuff brewing on that. I think that's something to look at, and also at the same time, on the other side, because I try to look at both perspectives as we look at these things, and on the other side, he's still the interim. So because he's still the interim, and that's a part of the interim's job, you he has to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the job of being a GM. You have to look at coaches. So could that be a part of the interim part of his job? Or is that actually, hey, you're the GM and this is what
Yeah.
to say is it's up in the air. But I think just my personal view, outside of looking at both views, I think that might actually be something to chew on.
Yeah. And that's a good point. I didn't look at it that way. He is the interim, so he does have to be a part of the process. That's pretty good too. At the end of the day, I don't. I'm kind of stuttering here. What the hell? For me, obviously, Champ Kelly is somebody that I add respect for. You know, he hasn't done any wrong, and and if he is the general manager, I'm cool with it. I like the candidates they brought in. The only candidate I don't like, um, Well, actually, mm, she was still good too. Her name is Kelly something. I already forgot her last name, but she's a director for the Broncos. I think the Denver Broncos. And I mean, she has some take, and some of the guys they brought in over there. Hey, some people in Patrick Surtain, right? Obviously Jerry Judy. You know, even though he's got injuries, he's still a good receiver.
Mhm.
And then you had people like Justice Simmons. So she has a little bit of take over there. She's a good candidate as well. But for me, obviously the 1 and 2 for me is Champ Kelly, Ed Dobbs, and whoever it is, I like both of them. You could bring both of them in the building, kind of like last year, where you kind of had Dave Ziegler and you kind of had Champ Kelly same room. Hey, Champ Kelly, Ed Dobbs in the same room. Hey, two guys that are good at scouting stuff that like that. Hey, I'm all for it at the end of the day. So
And you said you almost took the words out of my mouth. There was reports out there that that might possibly be what's brewing, is that we might have more than, of course we're going to have an official GM, but there might be some other roles that, like, hey, Ed Dodds, Dobbs, whatever his name is, I can't say it right, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Dobbs, hey, you take care of this area, you know what I'm saying? And you're the president of whatever, you know what I'm saying, in this area. And he's just manning that. I think there's some things that even with Dobbs, there are some things Dobbs is actually really good at, and I think he's really talented at. So if they can actually put people, then you have a structure. You can put people at where they're strong at. You know what I'm saying? Champ Kelly might, of course, he's a GM, but he might have a good strength in player personnel. So he might be the one that takes care of player personnel, and then someone else, you know what I'm saying, under Champ Kelly is looking at the contracts and making sure the money and whatever is straight. So there's a lot of structural things that can take place, and I think that's another reason why a lot of this stuff is taking so long, is because I think they're also trying to establish some type of structure in which, hey, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, and we all come together and make it work. So and I said that as what I wanted for us to really have on this team is structure, but have the GM do the GM, have the head coach actually be a head coach, have the coordinators coordinate, you know what I'm saying, and keep it as that. We don't need to have one guy trying to do the whole three-ring circus. That ain't what's cracking. If you notice what's going on in the NFL, I'm sorry for taking too long, but
no, you
if
you
you
good.
notice what's if you notice what's happening in the NFL, all the people that were the three-ring circus, all the guys that were trying to do everything and handle everything, what's happening to them? They're going out the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, just really think about who's left
Okay.
recently, and how much control did they have with their organization when they were there, and what's happening? They're gone. So there,
Okay.
there's a shift, and I think we're trying to get the structure right. And I think as much as we want it right now, you know what I'm saying? As much as we want to sign our guy right now, hey, look, get the structure right so we can really get things rolling. And I think Champ Kelly, for me, Champ Kelly and AP are it.
Facts, man. And my internet is a little bit tweaking right now. I might have to fix it right now. So I might let Twan answer this next question that we talked about while I do all that quickly. But shout out to
Yeah.
everybody joining me, man. I see a lot of people talking in here. Let me give you the next question, and then I'll get to the comments once I'm back because I just need to fix my internet real quick. So I talked about Chris Richard getting the interview. Does that mean Antonio Pierce has the job already? You think Antonio Pierce has the job? You got called in for the second time. Do you think they're waiting? And somebody said somebody about the rule. There's a rule that after the divisional round, they could sign coaches. They could make coaches coach. So what do you think? Oh, I think my internet's good now. What you thinking?
Is right. What's the question? Get Pierce? I'm on my cell phone. I'm trying to.
Oh, does that mean Antonio Pierce has the job? You think Antonio Pierce has the job?
You know what? I hope Pierce got the job, as much as he's been, in media and everything else. They definitely right now have been marketing Pierce. You know what I'm saying? He's been in a whole lot of pictures with the right people. I'll say it like that. He's been in a whole lot of pictures with the right people. He's been He's been marching down, you know what I'm saying, the popular streets of Las Vegas, you know what I'm saying, waving his hand, you know, saying hi to the kids and the babies and everything else, you know what I'm saying, with the shield on. So I hope, you know, what all that is actually just, you know, good propaganda for what is to come. I really hope that's it. I think Pierce does have the job. Uh, you know, there's you know, and I'll ask this and I'll wait. You know, people were talking about Harbaugh, you know what I'm saying, being the head coach. Uh has he came in for an interview? I'll wait.
Oh, that's true. He hasn't. But he really hasn't.
Uh, and haven't we not fulfilled the Rooney Rule? I'm giving y'all the side eye. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things brewing. Like, you know, that's why I think a lot of people that understand the technicalities of, you know, what needs the things that need to be checked off before we can legally say, hey, yeah, he's our guy. All of that stuff's been checked off. So a lot of people are frustrated, like, dude, just go ahead and sign whoever that person is. You know what I'm saying? But I think, like, again, I think there's some other things, some structural things that they're trying to brew. And, you know, my hopes is that they make a, you know, with this, I hope they do make an all-star team. You know, I hope they do, like, and I've been saying it in regards to AP as head coach. You know what I'm saying? I want AP to be a head coach, but I want proven names around him. So if you have proven names around him, you know, like a Champ Kelly, and then you have, you know, and this is just my wishful thinking, have Ed Dobbs, you know, doing what he does best, and then you have, you know, of course, Patrick Graham over there got his, and get ready for this because I'm gonna be saying this as we go along. But Patrick Graham College, you know what I'm saying? Patrick Graham College over there on the defense, and then, you know what I'm saying, whoever it is, whether it's I call him Salisbury Steak, but Kingsbury or whoever, but a proven name around AP. And dude, I'm already, the season hasn't come to a close, and I'm excited for next season. You know what I'm saying, as we speak.
That's a fact, man. I see people coming in, man. Shout out to everybody here. Milka Beezy just joined us. Shout out to everybody. Raider7528 in the building. I'm trying to give a shout out to everybody, man. I'm sorry if I skipped it again, man. I'm trying to get to everybody, man. We got more than 80 people in here combined. So if you guys can hit that like button, subscribe if you're new as well. We'll greatly appreciate help the algorithm. And you know the Chargers are going to release Mac. Yeah, but you know we got Malcolm. I see people talk about Malcolm Kuntz and Khalil Mack. For me personally, I've been an advocate for Malcolm Kuntz, man. I know people wanted to get rid of him. This guy is really, really good, bro. And all he needed was the right coach to lead him in the right path, and it's exactly what happened. At the end of the day, you know, you got to give Antonio Pierce some credit. You know, at the end of the day, he let Patrick Graham do his job. You know, he got kind of handcuffed when it was Josh McDaniels there, and you kind of seen it. Our defense got a lot better when Antonio Pierce took over. Not because Antonio Pierce is calling the plays, is because he had a hand in allowing the defense to do their job and allowing them to be free, do what you want to do, and that's what happened. So that's why I give him a credit too. And shout out to We Out Here Entertainment. He said, "What's taking so long to decide the coach to?" Well, it's multiple things, right? The Rooney Rule is one. Obviously, you got to get some minority coaches in there and general managers and interview them. But also, you know, they're kind of going for diversity. The Raiders are interviewing a lot of people. They interviewed Kelly um from the Broncos, a female there. They're going with a lot of diversity, different genders and stuff like that. And also, I believe somebody said in the chat earlier, I have to kind of research the rule, but there's apparently one that you may not hire a head coach or something until after the divisional playoff game, which is this upcoming game. So we just got to double check that. But it's most like I wouldn't doubt it if that's a rule. I would not doubt it. So that's probably another thing as well. So they're going through interviews and stuff like that. But for me, honestly, like I said, me personally, I'm cool with Antonio Pierce, man. I've been advocating for him. You know, I kept saying it, and for everybody joining us, I see more people joining us. For me personally, Antonio Pierce has been one of those guys that he makes the team play with him, and he has the right coordinators next to him. the sky's the limit. He had a great coordinator in Patrick Graham, and look at what he did. Right, he let Patrick Graham coordinate and do his job, and that defense became top 10 in my opinion. Now you had a rookie. People forget that we had a rookie offensive play caller. You wonder why the offensive scheme was not good and the quarterback was not up to par and stuff like that. We had a rookie quarterback and a rookie offensive coordinator. And at the end of the day, you had a head coach that is more of a defensive mind than an offensive mind. So when you have those things taken into account, you have the offense that was produced on the field in the last few weeks. And that's why that was the reality of things. And people didn't look at the reality. They wanted to expect more. But the reality of it was these guys, at the end of the day, as much as we may say it's an excuse or what it is, at the end of the day, it's the reality of it. And that's what happened, in my opinion. The offense was the clear display of the rookie tendencies there. So if you give him a good offensive coordinator, the sky's the limit. And that kind of leads me to the next one. A name that has been revolving around the offensive coordinator way is Cliff Kingsbury. And shout out to Desert Raider in the buddy. He said, "Miss me with that very bullshit." Hey, I feel that, man. But obviously, one of them, shout out to Saint Matthew. I don't think I saluted you, but salute, shout out to everybody, man. Like I said, hit that like button. It'll help the algorithm. But Cliff Kingsbury could be the next Raiders offensive coordinator. A guy that might join Antonio Pierce if Antonio Pierce is head coach. Now, how do you guys feel about Cliff Kingsbury? Um, Twan, I'm gonna give you the question real quick about Cliff Kingsbury if you know anything about him. But if you want me to say it, because I have a whole backstory of him if you want to know, but it's up to you. What you feeling
Go
about Cliff Kingsbury?
go ahead and spit your knowledge on. I know
Okay,
some things about Kingsbury, but go ahead and spit your knowledge, and then I'll
so
tell you what I think about. I'll think about him as a coach.
shout out to
Go
Miguel.
ahead,
Let me
brother.
let me answer this real quick. What's the word on Tom Brady waiting for Vrabel? He likes Vrabel. It's another candidate that they have out there. But it looks like Antonio Pierce is leading the charge as far as the coaching aspect comes about it. But Vrabel also, I also said, is a good coach. Believe it or not. But for me, Antonio Pierce is like number one. But I think it's not that he's waiting for him. It's more that he's like, hey, go look at Vrabel for me. He's a good coach. And hey, go look at him. Just hey, give him an interview. That's pretty much what it is, right? But here's Cliff Kingsbury, Barry, a little bit, and I'm only talking about the pros. He also played for Texas Tech, but that's here and there. I'm gonna talk about the pro level, right? In 2019, he was part of the Cardinals, right? They were 13th in offensive efficiency with the second best ground game in 2019, which was a franchise record 5.3 yards per carry. And also that year, Kyler Murray was the rookie offensive player of the year. Then you go on to the COVID year by 2020. They improved to 8-8. And then in 2021, they went on a 7-0 streak and then ended the season with an 11-6 record, having five Pro Bowlers and lost to the Super Bowl champions at the time, the Rams, obviously. And they were ranked the Cliff Kingsbury offense in the Cardinals was top 10 in both scoring and total offense there. So it wasn't also a field thing and a record thing. It was also a statistic thing that were top 10 in. Then in April and then in 2022, they dropped heavily. 4-13. Murray had a season-ending injury. The things were going down, but at the end of the day, you can't blame him for that because at the end of the day, a lot of players left. Some players got injured. Kyler Murray, their main offensive weapon, season-ending injury. And at the end of the day, he was never a head coach. He was more of an offensive guru, in my opinion. I want to say offensive guru because that kind of paints like Josh McDaniels. I'll say he's more of an offensive-minded guy. And then you go in 2023 where he joined the USC staff senior offensive analyst. And you may say, SC, what the fuck is an offensive analyst, senior offensive analyst? Well, it's somebody that breaks down the offensive and defensive strategies. He identifies the strengths and weaknesses of players on both sides of the football field, how to target the opposite team's weaknesses and how to target that. That's what a senior offensive analyst does. So that he joined the USC guys, and obviously Caleb didn't have the greatest of seasons, but he still had a good season overall. He had a good season. The receivers were really good. The offensive line was shit though, but they were really good on the offensive side of the ball. It was their defense where they lacked it. So he's a good candidate for the offensive coordinator. I think he's a true offensive coordinator. He was another guy that's not a head coach, but an offensive coordinator. But Twan, what do you feel about Cliff Kingsbury, bro?
I'm gonna go right to what you said at the end. You went right in. See that's why we two brothers for one nation. We always be we be thinking about the same stuff.
That's a
Now
fact.
with Kingsbury, I like it. I'm gonna say it. I like it, and the reason why I like it is because this is the same thing that I had an issue with our previous head coach. I felt like our previous head coach was an amazing offensive coordinator, but he couldn't juggle being an offensive coordinator and a head coach at the same time. Now, Kingsbury is coming off of that same situation where he was a head coach trying to be the offensive coordinator, and that didn't work well. Now he can get back to just working on the offense and back to what I really think he's really good at. He's able to relate to the young quarterbacks. Think about all the quarterbacks he worked with. He didn't just work with the quarterbacks, but think about the players that he worked with. The what gets me excited about Kingsbury is people always talk about, oh, he worked with Mahomes and Kyler Murray, but you have to also recognize that he worked with Johnny Manziel. And who was the passing option for Johnny Manziel? Mike Evans. Guess who Mike Evans is similar to that's currently on this team? Devontae Adams. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things that it works. You know what I'm saying? The running game, the Josh, and obviously Josh Jacobs is not currently on the roster because he's technically a free agent. But if AP comes in here, we know that Josh Jacobs is gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with Kingsbury. I'm cool with him. Hey, he's not coming in as a head coach. All he has to do is make sure that offense is running, and I think Kingsbury is that guy to get the offensive running. Now, I'm not saying he's the only option that we can have offensively, but if you're asking me, do I like Kingsbury? Do I think Kingsbury could he fit with what we got here with the Raiders? Absolutely. And again, other guys, other offensive coordinators that are proven, if they want to come in, I'm willing to look at those too. But just for the conversation, I give the thumbs up for Kingsbury because again, he's not going to be a head coach. He's just going to make sure that offense is putting up more than what we've done
Right.
recently.
I think adaptability is something he has to work on. Given the end of the season, just don't call nothing stupid. Yeah, I feel that. And I see somebody say Kingsbury offense always fizzles out at the end of the season. It does a little fizz out, and that kind of leads me to the next thing for all of you guys, man. What are the other options for OC in your guys' opinion? I'm gonna give it to the comment section as well, man. Hey, let me know what is a good candidate in your opinion for the OC. Twan, do you have any names out there that you would like to talk about in the OC position that you would like to have an interview or be a part of the staff?
Mm. The guy I like is the guy I like is actually being looked for as head coach. So I don't know if he's willing to look at being an offensive coordinator, and I like Ben Johnson, but um that I have to dive into more of that. I haven't got to that state, and this is just my process of it. I haven't really looked too far into the offensive coordinators because the offensive coordinator can definitely change if depending on who our GM is, and even more closer than as who our head coach is. I know Kingsbury has definitely been someone linked to AP, and that's the reason why that one's kind of one to really dive into. But yeah, there's some good offensive coordinators out there.
Yeah.
But we just, you just gotta, look at it. I know my boy Dirty from Life of the Nation, he wants Hugh Jackson, what I'm saying, to be our offensive coordinator. An old name, but he knows what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? With he's known as a quarterback whisperer. And again, I think we'll be in a situation where no matter what, whether it's the development of Aiden O'Connell or whoever we draft or bring in, there's going to be a young quarterback that whoever is going to have to mold. So I think we also have to look at whoever that offense coordinator is. They're going to have to be good with working with, our quarterbacks, because our quarterbacks are going to be young. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Jimmy G, which is just my thought of, money wise, that we are going to still, unfortunately, still have on this roster, unless we can get
Right.
that full up somewhere.
Fact. Shout out to Faith. What is Mark Davis waiting for? I think he's weighing his options, obviously, and also I think it's a rule that you have to do it after the divisional playoffs, so we gotta wait. But he's obviously going with diversity, filling the Rooney rule, and also um just giving everybody a shot at an interview. And Marcus West says fat right, which if you guys don't know who that is, that I believe that's the Carolina Panthers head coach, if I'm not mistaken. That's one of them. Another names that I like to put out there into the atmosphere, Eric Bieniemy is one of them that has been a hot topic since last year. Another one in my eyes is also what's his name? What's his name? Oh my god, I lost the name. I lost the name. I'm trying to think. Oh, Arthur Smith. There we go. Arthur Smith from the Atlanta Falcons. Another guy that could be a good candidate. Arthur Smith, another one. Is somebody that could do. And then obviously the other Smith, which is what Thrash said here. Would Frank Smith come back since Mike McDaniel's calling the plays in Miami? Anyways, he's supposed to be a head coach candidate, but I don't see anybody interviewing him. He could be another offensive coordinator position I was thinking of. Frank Smith, Arthur Smith, and then obviously, like I said, Eric Bieniemy, and then Cliff Kingsbury is another one, like we
and
just
and
talked
that
about.
that and that might also be an option, and I think that's also a part of the waiting game too, is that as we're speaking about this here, I think part of it is, some of these guys are, of course, if you can get a head coach job and get that bigger money, then obviously you're gonna try to go get that bigger money. But if you're not getting, like, for an example, if I'm one of those head coach candidates, but hey, the calls ain't coming in, or the calls started getting slow, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I do need to go be an offensive, go back to being an offensive coordinator somewhere, and still
Yeah,
get
yeah,
a check. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's still, I think that's still that. I think that's a part of the waiting game too. Is some of these potential head coaches may not necessarily eventually be a head coach, but
uh,
hey, they still need to get a check. So hey,
it-
I know it didn't work out being a head coach, but hey, come on over here. We got Devontae Adams and
it-
et cetera over here. We got some pieces over here that you can work with.
hey, Twan, real quick. I didn't want to cut you off, but your mic is little off. I don't know if you have your finger on like the microphone or something of the phone, but it's a little, it's a little tweaking. It's a little, it's like
Okay.
sounding a little. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's like you have your like finger on like the mic or something or something like that. It kind of sounds a little bit off.
Am I good?
No, it's still the same way.
All right.
I don't
Let,
know what
let,
it
let,
is.
let me come back. Let me pop
All
back
right,
in.
bet. All right, bet, bet, bet. But obviously, he said got the homophobe rated Jimmy CT was good. Good to see you, man. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Hope all is well. Hey, make sure to hit that like button, man. I'll greatly appreciate that, man. The links are in the description as well, man, and it'll just help the algorithm. It'll help the algorithm push forward, right? Obviously. So in all honesty, those are some candidates, right? For me, I like all them candidates. Anything is better than Bull Hardgrave, right? Let's be honest, right? Um, Anything is better than what we had before. So for me personally, I like all these candidates. I'm really honestly, if you were to ask me, hey Eric, um, what's a staff you would like, right? For obviously me, one would be Antonio Pierce, a head coach, right? Champ Kelly, you bring in general manager. If you can, bring Ed Dobbs a part of the management. But obviously that would be one. And then keep Patrick Graham. Do everything you can to keep Patrick Graham here, and then just add somebody like Cliff Kingsbury, Eric Bieniemy, or even Arthur Smith. I mean, Arthur Smith is number three on the list. For me, number one would be most likely between Eric Bieniemy and Cliff Kingsbury. At the end of the day, it just all depends on what quarterback is going to be available to us, because certain quarterbacks work in certain systems really well. Obviously, Caleb is a hot topic and commodity for Cliff Kingsbury, but you would have to trade so much, and I do not want to do that for Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams falls to us, I'm cool with it, but I'm not trading up for a guy like that. At the end of the day, he kind of declined this season, but he still played a really good season. But at the end of the day, he's most likely going to go in the top five in the NFL draft, believe it or not. So I'm not trading up at all. I'm not trading up. I'm not wasting my picks. I'm not wasting my players. I'm not doing none of that. At the end of the day, we're building on top of what we got. And what we got is only a certain decisions away, right? Um, when will we make decision? Why is it taking so long, Steve? I think it's a rule till after the divisional. So I would say personally, Steve, you would most likely hear a head coach and general manager candidate and being signed and being on a contract with the Raiders and being announced most likely in about the latest 2 weeks from now, the earliest a week from now. I would say maybe a little less, maybe like 5 days, 6 days after these playoffs in the next 3 days. So that's what would be my estimation. I would say to you, and I could be wrong. Obviously, they could wait even longer, but that would be my estimation of what it is. Um, I really don't want to trade up anyway, not wasting our future picks, and that's what I'm saying as well, Vic Sacramento, man. That's what I'm saying. Obi said it today, champion AP or it, and that's what I'm thinking too, right, Gus? That's why I kind of said, if you look at the thumbnail itself, it kind of says Raiders got their head coach because every sign is leading up to Antonio Pierce, man. Every sign. At the end of the day, so who knows? Twan, you good? Let's test it out. Let's test it out.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, you're a little bit loud now, but it's good. It's more clear. I will say that it's more clear
Hello,
now.
hello, hello.
Is it good for y'all? Is it good for everybody, man, out there watching? Everybody, is it feeling good?
We trying to make it work.
We're trying to make it work, man. He's not home right now, so he's in another state,
Yeah.
so he's got to work with what he got. Yesterday, all about the OC and the rest of the staff. That's a fact, Gus. I would like to trade up for a quarterback, but I think we getting a quarterback in he said it's good, much better for sure, for sure. There we go. A quarterback in the second round. I feel that there's a lot of people that are dropping to the second round. I'm gonna call you G Raider. The second round, and it would be people like JJ McCarthy. Even though he won a national championship, he could drop to second round. Michael Penix Jr., another guy. Bo Nix has been kind of going down, so it kind of all depends on how you go about it. At the end of the day, right now, I'm trying to wait. Like I said, constantly, I'm trying to wait until the head coach, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator are official. So then I could start giving you guys this. I'm gonna do like a YouTube short, like maybe 3 times a week, showing you these different type of players and what they're capable of with all 22 film, showing you guys what their pros and cons. I'm gonna be doing that, so that would fit great in our system. Because at the end of the day, somebody could be really good in the draft, but they only work in certain systems, and I've seen that constantly. Guys, perfect example, Baker Mayfield, huh? How about let's talk about Baker Mayfield real quick. Baker Mayfield just put the Eagles to rest. And you may say the Eagles were declining anyways. That's understandable. But if you're telling me right now that the Buccaneers have a better overall roster than the Eagles, I would think
Hey,
you're smoking something because they
hey, you telling me the tush wasn't pushing?
stopped the tush push. They stopped the tush push.
The tush
Never
wasn't
happened.
pushing. No pause, because I
And look
pressed
at
play.
Baker Mayfield. Look at Baker Mayfield. He's looking better in the Bucks than he's ever did. Look at Jared Goff. Hey, how about Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford,
Right,
huh? What a
right.
hell! What a hell of a
Every
game.
everybody that was writing people off. Hey, I mean, even though they was eliminated, I call him Falco, but Flacco, Joe Flacco. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thought he was washed up. What did he do? You know what I'm saying? He had him running. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's interesting to see a lot of the players that us as fans kind of wrote off. Now saying, "Hey, I'm here." You know,
That's a fact. And shout out to everybody in here, man. He says, wait, so Mayfield didn't need a year under the system for like our old quarterback. I think he always had the potential. I would say that him and AOC are similar in that sense, where they did need to learn underneath something, but they also needed to fall into the right system. And I think he fell into the right system now. I think that's why he's succeeding so well with the Bucks, more than he's ever done in his whole career. So obviously, everybody wrote off the Bucks. They wrote off what the Buccaneers had. They wrote off, after Tom Brady left them. Um, but all they needed was a couple pieces that fell into the right system. And for me, I think Mayfield was a system quarterback, and he fell into the right system. That's why a lot of Jet quarterbacks go down, because they fall into the wrong system and then they end up shit. And it's never that they were shit. It's the fact that they fell into the wrong system that taught them the wrong ways, that messed up the progression, because messing up a youngster's rookie's progression could really affect you in the long run, by a large margin. Like Malcolm.
And that. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead. No, that's what I was gonna say. I was just saying, just like Malcolm Kutz.
Well, hey, and you said Malcolm Coons, and that that's another guy that it took him a while, and some of us in Raider Nation kind of wrote him off, and some people was like, "Hey, keep hope alive on him," and now he's starting to, you let him with his cheap labor, you let him mature and let him grow, and what you were saying earlier is, I've been saying that in regards to every player, a player's career, uh, you know, yes, their talent carries them, but a lot of it is really based on what system they go into, offensively and defensively. There's been a lot of very talented players that go to a team, and that team, that the player doesn't match the system, and then all of a sudden we're calling them trash, and we're calling them et cetera, and it's like, no, until they actually go, like you said, with some of these guys, when they get to a system that actually works for them, that's when you actually see the best of their abilities. I even our defense, our defense changed, and I think that's another reason. Patrick Graham doesn't like to really run cover three. You know what I'm saying? He's not really a cover three, defensive coach, but he wasn't scared to run cover three this year. And what happened? Our defense was top ranked in a lot of areas. And if you look at it, a lot of the guys that we have on this defense, they were drafted for cover three. Merrick, what system did he come out of? A cover three. You know what I'm saying? Hobbs, what did he come out of? A cover three. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of our key pieces came out of that system, and that's why they were able to run the way that they were running. And Patrick Graham, shout out to Patrick Graham for not, being hard headed, but going for a this is what works for my guys. This is what we're gonna run, and they ran it, so it works well.
Hey, I appreciate you, True Raider. That means a lot to me, man. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for the both of us, man. Links are in the description, man. And for me, hey, maybe we could hit it by the end of this live, man. I'm officially seven away from 2,000 subscribers from my goal. So if you guys can hit that subscribe button, we're close.
Man, forget that, Eric. Quit playing. I'm sorry. Quit playing. I don't get hyped around here like that, but y'all quit playing. Come on, hit the subscribe button for my boy Eric. Let's hit that 2,000 today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and don't even worry about me. I only got 2 subscribers over at RaiderTwuan, so don't even hit my subscribe button. But go ahead and hit up Eric and get. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's
Good, man. I
go.
appreciate that, man. Shout out to Gene. What's good, Raider Nation? Mark Davis is showing us how he does not have football IQ. So seeing to hearing him that he doesn't hire AP wouldn't surprise me. So let's see what Mark does. And that obviously that's a fact, right? That's a fact. Mark Davis has really not shown too much of football IQ. He even said it himself. That's why he always had people around him. But obviously, the right move would be AP. Obviously, I wouldn't doubt it if he doesn't hire him. Right, that would be another move. Right. But for me personally, I think that AP would be the coach. We just gotta see, right? I would give an estimation. I said this to somebody earlier. A week from now, you'll most likely hear an announcement. or a week and a half to 2 weeks could be maximum. I would be really surprised if it takes longer than that. But I appreciate that True Raiders channel is dope as fuck. Like it so far, man. I appreciate you, man. Stay live till you 2K. Nah, man, we gonna be off in like 15 minutes, man. 15 to 20 minutes, man. So I appreciate it. I gotta
Hey,
go.
we going 24 hours, dog. We going 24 hours. We doing a marathon.
Hey, I wouldn't even be able to do that. Shout out to All Eyes on G, man. He said I need me a jersey. Hey, I just won one. That's good, man. I need me a jersey. Hey, get a jersey, man. And you already know what it is. I got two, man. These are my two. Just for everybody that's new here, man, and don't know any background. These guys behind me are two guys that before my time have been my favorite players. Obviously, I always said, you gotta do research, before your time. And these two guys, man, I love their play. I love their style, man. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know why they're playing with him. But obviously Belinikov, a Hall of Famer, great guy, stuff like that, great player, another great receiver, and also, hey, an award is named after him at the end of the day. So, um, you feel me? Those are my favorites there. And then obviously Charles Woodson of my time, and then the Awesome was under those type of guys, stuff like that. But Al Davis needs to get Mark some kind of sign to hire AP already. Maybe the announcement comes same time as the Bolts announce theirs. All I know is the Bolts, they're gonna fuck up another decision. I already know, bro. They're gonna always do that, and they have to pay people. And when I tell you, them Chargers are done, them Chargers are done, bro. I'm telling you, they're declining, man, and it's only up for us. It's only, hey, rise for us, man. And that starts with this head coaching thing. And at the end of the day, I think Antonio Pierce deserves it, in my opinion. And it's gonna be a great staff. I truly believe that they will come up with a great staff and do things right now. I think if there's a time where you gotta do things right, is now. You got a team that is at the border of being a playoff team. They're at the border of being a playoff team, and all they need is that good guidance, that good path, good coordinator, a quarterback that is ready now. And I'm gonna say it just like that, quarterback that is ready now. Eventually, Aiden O'Connell will be eventually ready. But right now, the quarterback needs to be ready now for us personally, and that starts with the draft. I wouldn't go through free agency in my opinion. Future looks bright for real. I've been a fan since '83, man. Hey, respect to you. You feel me? Hey, I know you've seen the good times and stuff like that, man. It sucks that I've never got to experience that, but best believe, I did my research and seeing those games and on tape and stuff like that. It's really good to watch. So hopefully that happens soon. We're going into the right direction. All it starts with is this head coaching process, a general manager, and it starts with this, man. I truly believe it. Mark playing, letting somebody else to hire him. Uh, please tell Brady to keep. He says, Atwan, please, please tell Brady to keep his opinions to himself because right now he is the devil in Mark's left ear.
Hey, Brady needs some prayer, you know what I'm saying? And he need to holler at the chaplain, you know what I'm saying? He need to hit me up on IG, you know what I'm saying? And I'll get him straight for you, dog. I'll get him straight if he hit me up on IG.
I feel that, man. I feel that. Now we're 5 away, man. We're 5 away. If you guys are new here, man, hit that subscribe button. So, what do you think about signing Russell Wilson to a vet minimum if the Broncos cut him? Would you sign Russell Wilson for a vet minimum if it was a vet minimum? That's the question.
You asking me?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give you this question right here. The question needs to give you.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell no. Yeah, hey, look. Hey, we good. We good. We don't need those problems. How many or hey, I hate to say it like this. I and I and I'm gonna sound contradictory. I actually do like Russell Wilson, but nah. Eh, how many organizations has he got bounced from? You know what I'm saying? This is his second one. Nah, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good with what we got here. You know, I'm believing in Aiden O'Connell, whether he's our starter or our backup. And I'm just confident, like we would just finish the segment of the offensive coordinator. I'm confident that whoever our offensive coordinator is going to come in and say, hey, one of those top five, whoever it is, that's my guy. we gonna move up or Fadango or however we gotta do it to go get his guy, and we're gonna run it. Because again, like me and SC said, I think this team and like my brother said on the comment, I forgot what his name is, but he said he's a fan since like '82 or something like that. Um, but we're right there. You know what I'm saying? We're a couple of pieces away. So definitely, no, I'm cool. I think bringing in Russell Wilson will instead of us going forward, I think that'll take us some steps back by bringing him in.
I feel that. He says strength of schedule matters. Donks and Bolts have third and fourth place status. Pass on dangerous Russ. Locker room already having good vibes. Sierra can come through. I feel that, man. For me, obviously, if you were to tell me, hey, SC, we didn't draft a quarterback. Our only options is free agency. Like, we're not going to draft a quarterback. If you were to guarantee that, because at the end of the day, y'all got to remember, free agency is ahead of the actual draft. It's ahead of the actual draft. Free agency comes first. So if you were to tell me that the Raiders are looking to not draft any quarterback and it's 100% confirmed, I would say, hey, might as well take a chance on somebody like Russell Wilson. He probably is your best option if at the end of the day. He's probably your best option. But if you were to tell me, hey, SC, the Raiders are looking at a lot of quarterbacks in the draft. You go draft a quarterback. I'd rather take a chance on a rookie quarterback with a good offensive coordinator and looks better. But like I said, if it comes down to, hey, you're not going to draft a quarterback, then your best bet is Russell Wilson. And I will say that because I'm not, I got to get Jimmy G the fuck out of here, bro. Some way, somehow, Jimmy G got to go. Um,
Dude,
and I'm not settling on Brian Hoyer. I'm most likely Brian Hoyer's retiring. And if he doesn't retire, I'm gonna be very surprised. So for me, Russell Wilson didn't have the best of performances either. So for me, he's good enough to play, but he's just somebody that would be the last resort for me. Uh, but I will say in his career, he's been a decent quarterback at the end of the day. That would be the last resort, though. Um, so we'll see what happens, obviously. Um, but on top of that, you feel me, kind of brings me to like the final thoughts of everything. Um, it I would say if you're new here and if you've been here, subscribe and hey, if you already have that bell notification pressed, you have to reset it. I hate that YouTube did that, but you would have to unclick and then click it back in order to get the noties when I'm live. If I were to predict that next week is gonna be jam packed with a bunch of news, y'all. So you do not want to miss any live, any YouTube shorts, stuff like that, man. Best believe I make sure to make my lives at least a day before the actual live goes. So also if you want any updates, on it. My Instagram is the best way now. Instead of my Discord too, but my Discord I kind of say 5 minutes, 10 minutes before I go live. If you put exclamation mark Discord in my channel, you'll see the Discord. But on Instagram is your best bet. I always do it hours prior, saying I'm gonna go live at this time at this place. Um, and also for more content on Instagram will be there as well. So obviously, to get the updates there, you would have to go through there as well. Um, but besides that, obviously, I'm gonna most of the 2 for 1 Nation podcast is every Thursday, same time, same place, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. So always be there. It's always the same time, same place. Oh, you're from Baldwin Park. I live near Baldwin Park, man. Saludos, saludos, man. That's good. That's good. Good to see you, man. Shout out to Baldwin Park. Obviously, when it comes down to everything, um, there's gonna be a lot of content coming in the next 2 weeks. So, um, like I said, I'm close to 2,000 subscribers. You feel me? I'm three away. Three away. I don't know if we're
oh
gonna get
come
closer.
on, let's go,
I
let's
don't know if we're gonna.
go.
I don't know if we're gonna hit it, but we'll see. Grew in El Monte, huh? I grew up in LA, so I'm originally from LA. Moved moved out of LA, but I grew up in LA. But Twan, hey, let them know, man. Any final thoughts about the head coach stuff like that, and what's to come in your channel and stuff like that?
Okay, my final thought is we need to get SC to 2,000 subscribers on this live. If you ain't subscribed, you know what I'm saying, just go ahead and click it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and click it, set it and forget it. You know what I'm saying? Click the subscribe button and just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Just let it go. You've been hanging around here You know what I'm saying? Getting this good knowledge and this good talk. You know what I'm saying? SC is definitely a good guy to follow. You know what I'm saying? Also, RaiderTwuan is my channel. Hi, my name is RaiderTwuan. I'm out of the state, but I still wanted to, come on live with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So definitely come over to RaiderTwuan and do the same thing. Click the subscribe button. I'm on my way to 5 subscribers. So if you can go over there and help me get to 5 subscribers, that would be awesome. You know what I'm saying? So please come over to RaiderTwuan and yeah, subscribe. Also you guys, I will be working on this week. I didn't do any lives because again I'm out of state working on some medical stuff. So keep me in your prayers. As the chaplain always prays for y'all. And also, if you need prayer for you or your family members, hit me up on IG. Seriously, I'm serious. If you need prayer for you or your family members, hit me up on IG at Twuan TWUAN. Again, I don't put your business out there in the street, nor am a person to spread drama or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about me telling anybody else about what's going on in your life. Just hit me up on IG so that I can be in prayer for whatever's going on in your life. And be an organ donor. Please be an organ donor. You can help so many people by being an organ donor. So please be an organ donor.
I feel that, man. And like I said, just to round it all up, man. Hey, there's a lot of news to circulate around the Raiders, man. Best believe that in the next 2 weeks, especially in the off season, everywhere from the draft, we got you covered, man. Especially me, I love the draft, man. Something about me, and people know I love when it comes to draft. I got my hands finally on the college all 22 film, so I'm going to be researching, dissecting, and dropping draft profiles on YouTube Shorts on my channel. So if you love everything drafts, off season, Raiders, it's the place to be, man. So subscribe if you're new. Like I said, I'm close to 2,000 subscribers. I don't know where I'm at. I'll check it before we get off on here, man. And I appreciate everybody that subscribed to both of us. I greatly appreciate you guys. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys. No matter if we hit 2,000 subscribers now or not, I know by next live we will hit that. And I that was a goal of mine since the beginning of this season. And I said, hey, getting 900 subscribers from the beginning of the season till now is gonna be difficult. But even especially with a lot of people checking out midway through the season. But we're close to it. So I appreciate you guys, and for everybody that came out to be new today, man, welcome. Hey, welcome. I don't have no name for the chat. For me, I just call you guys, hey, family, man. At the end of the day, Raider Nation's a family, man. And at the end of the day, we gotta, hey, hey, screw the other fan bases, bro. They ain't us, bro. They ain't the nation, bro. And there's only one nation, that's the Raider Nation, and everybody better know that in the NFL. You feel me? Hey, going like I always like to say things, man. Blessings to you guys and your families. Always. Tough times never last, but tough people do, and you guys are some tough people, man. Always, always, please tell your loved ones you love them, because you never know when it could be the last time. And that's all I could say there. And I appreciate you guys, man. On the way out, hit that like button, no matter if you're on my channel, his channel. I would greatly appreciate it, no matter where you're at.
Oh,
Also, besides that, subscribe. Yes,
I always say this, and I really do mean this. You guys, you are a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else.
I feel that, man. And I'm gonna just do the final check here. You feel me? Before we head on out here to see if we hit it. You feel me? Well, it kind of looks like we did, so I appreciate you guys, man. There we go.
Let's
2,000,
go!
2,000 subscribers.
Let's go!
There we go. I appreciate you
Let's
guys, man. No
go!
problem.
Congrats, fam! For real. I'm so
I
excited. Hey, we need to do another hour. Let's go for another hour, dog.
I can't, bro. I gotta go.
I'm just playing. But hey, congrats, man. I'm so happy for you, man. Hey, you deserve it. You need 4,000 next week for real.
Uh,
Double up, double
Sky's
up.
the limit, man. Now it's the road to 3,000 subscribers by the end of next season. By the end of the next season. But hey, I appreciate you guys, man. To start off 2024, man. First month to hit 2,000 subscribers. I appreciate that, man. and only big things to come, man. So on that note, y'all, blessings to you and your families, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for all the congrats, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys, man. And that right there just made me even more motivated, man. If you guys know, I kind of messed up last year, kind of taking a little bit of vacation, kind of lacked motivation, but now it's full force from here on out, y'all. Hit that like button on the way out. Another episode of the 2 for 1 Nation podcast. We'll be back next Thursday, same time, same place. But also for me, my next live will be either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on if and only if well, actually, no, I'm gonna do one just to celebrate 2K subscribers and talk about head coach. And hopefully, we got our head coach by next week, man. Because I think the rule now is you could get a head coach by after this divisional playoffs. So we'll see that, man. I appreciate everybody, man. And on the way, I'll hit that like button, like I said, man. Anything before we head on out, Twuan?
Nah, man, go. Hey, subscribe. Love y'all. You know what I'm saying? You guys pray for me. I pray for y'all. And y'all already know. Shout out to the best chat and the best chat that YouTube has to offer. And you know that's the congregation.
And you already know, for me, man. Hey, this was the SC Raiders Talk, aka your boy Eric, man, aka your boy SC, and my boy RaiderTwuan, man. And we are out of here. Peace.
Is the will to win. Is the will to win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever.